question?
You can come back to that. I asked yesterday, well, if you have occasion that you selflessly would love a woman, you know, sexually, and you touch her in a deep place and all her past comes up, you said you have to meditate her pain, but I also recall that you once said you have to deeply feel into the pain.
Well, that is meditating the pain.
Okay, but you know, then you also added, there's no doing in this. Okay.
Yeah. So there's an allowing, isn't there?
Allowing,
so let me give you an example of that. Okay? Man doesn't quite get this. Maybe we can help him get this. I don't know whether woman gets this. We're going to discover. But the moment he touches a woman, he becomes responsible for what takes place. Follow that?
Yeah.
So I'm suggesting before a man touches a woman, he makes it known to her what he's about. Following this? So he has to... Hello, I saw some of you kind of look. What does he mean by that? What does he mean? Well, you've got to be completely and absolutely honest. Why you are touching a woman. Now, most people, when they get into a relationship, I'm going to kind of skip and then come back. When they get into a relationship, they forget this. They forget this sacred right, and there's no honouring in it, no nobility in it, because simply you start to take each other for granted. If the man takes the woman for granted, then from then on, you're both going to take each other for granted. The man mustn't take the woman for granted. He must honour her, and he must at some point or other ask her for permission to touch her. I'm suggesting this. Honour her. Is this okay? Is this real for you? You understand? Otherwise, you'll lose respect for her and the frequency of your experiences will drop down. You must hold her in a higher place so that you look to her not from what you can have and what you can own, but what you can give. And that's a different experience will then come from you towards the woman and from the woman towards you. Because that's purity. And that kind of purity opens the woman, and she can't do anything but give, because she is the biggest giver in the universe. She just gives. Do you follow? So what I'm speaking of is be very clear with yourself and with woman when you approach her, so that she knows what you're about. She has to know what you're about. Sounds crazy in this Western world that this isn't the case, but she has to know what you're about. This is what I'm saying in terms of spiritual, human evolution, the development of you loving and knowing what love is. So then you've touched a woman. I know, as any woman knows, as any man knows. You just got to see that you already know this. The moment you touch a woman, and you touched her in reality, she will flower because she loves a real touch. Real touch. When a man is consciously, openly loving from his heart, that touch is recognized by a woman to come from another place other than that man. It comes from reality, and that flowers her. Now, this is the mystery in life. I think you already know what's coming. As she flowers, because she opens up, and then you starts to express through her cheeks, her lips, her eyes, her face, her breath, her life, and how that also touches a man open in that resonance. And his heart is healed in this, and he begins to know with much more clarity about life, about love, about this relationship. Then we all know what follows after the radiance, don't we? Hello, any ideas? Out comes Pandora's box. Why is that? It's very easy to discover. What comes out of woman in terms of she is that's in the domain of evolution is experience. The old experience comes out of her. The old experience starts to come out of woman. What a man did to her previously, what happened between her mother and father, blah, 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 as it also comes out of man's body. But it definitely comes out of woman. You recognise this. But it doesn't mean it has to continually come out. It can come out of the earth, because the earth contains all this, and it must come out of this earth, as it must come out of the bodies, feminine, as it must come out of the minds, masculine. So then, real love is when both men and women understand the movement of life and love and what will come out. And what happens up until this point in time, unless a man and woman is becoming more enlightened and aware of the purpose of embodiment, the purpose of attraction, the purpose of life, the purpose of the universe, big things, but this is what will start taking place on this planet as humanity truly, truly grows, is that what comes out of all those past stages of development, of that lower stage of development, where we as human beings were still attached to body, mind, form as our identity. And so we held on to experience because to collect experience individuated us. Are you following? You had to collect experience to grow intelligence until you no longer need to collect experience to be intelligent. Follow? This is sacred law. So that when then you come to a woman or you come to a man and you're making the kind of bond I'm talking about, then you know what's going to come out of both of you, the feminine. You know what's going to come out of your mind, the masculine. You know what's going to come out. But can you stay with it as consciousness, as conscious men and women, aware of the whole play of life? So that's impersonal, isn't it? So this is essential, and it has to be a living practice, and it's a divine right. It's still quite rare between men and women that are attracted, because relationship is still very much about getting what you want, even if you want nothing. That's still getting what you want. I want nothing. Okay? And yet what I'm talking about is where we become creative, where we become dynamically creative, but from a still, silent point. So we have a ground of silence, but it's bursting with life and creativity and givingness and beauty, and everything that we know is rich and real and serves all beings. Are you following? So then our intelligence can go down into the unknown, experience more of what I am in the deep, and come out as an expression. Involution, evolution. The artist begins to appear as each and every individual. So then, when we really begin to understand this, to approach a woman, to open to a man, becomes a sacred art in which you know what you're doing.